All aboard. A call or warning to all passengers to board a mode of transportation. Dream. A succession of images, ideas, emotions, and sensations that usually occur involuntarily in the mind during sleep. Train. A form of transport consisting of a series of connected vehicles moved as one unit along fixed rails. We spend around 1/3 of our lives sleeping, and while the world around us seems to shut down, our brains stay extremely active. Our dreams are very personal and intimate, and are usually only shared with those that are closest to us. Welcome to All Aboard the Dream Train, a show where the narratives and experiences created by the unconscious brain are retold by the dreamer. Hey folks, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you and your family are staying safe and sane. These are definitely some crazy times that we are in, for sure, so I hope everybody's doing well out there. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about tattoos and dreams. So using dreams as inspiration for some tattoo work you may be getting, and also using your tattoos in your dream life. More specifically, using them as reality checks to help induce lucid dreams. So question number one, what is a reality check? Just a few definitions that I found offline. Number one, an assessment to determine if one's circumstances or expectations conform to reality. And number two, an event that forces one to reassess one's expectations or one's understanding of one's situation. I also found a website that puts it very nicely as a reality check is the action that you perform during the day that tests your reality. It can be physical or mental. And then also adding on that reality check is an essential and simple technique that will prove to you that you are in the real world or in the dream world. Now, I can't speak from experience because I don't use reality checks yet. I'm not a lucid dreamer, but I can speak on getting a tattoo that was inspired by a dream. This dream was so profound. It wasn't something I had to really think about. It was just a matter of getting enough money and the time to do it. But we are going to hear from a gal today that does use these techniques regularly. I did just recently ask my tattoo artist if he does very many dream-inspired tattoos. He said not really. He suspects that people probably did get dream-inspired tattoos, but it was probably something they just didn't talk about a whole lot or go into detail about. Kind of the same thing with people telling stories about their dreams. So before we get into today's episode and I introduce today's guest, I'm going to read off some dream tweets. This tweet comes from Crystal's Weird Dreams at Crystal_weird. She says, #dream. A local bar or something of the sort bought a bunch of pinball tables but wasn't able to bring them in right away, so we got to hold them in our home for a short while. It was amazing. She goes on to say, I remember the specific tables too. There was Elvira, Attack from Mars, Funhouse, and a big one, which I don't think was a real machine. Thank you for that dream tweet, Crystal. Big fan of Funhouse and The Simpsons pinball as well. This next dream actually isn't a dream tweet. It was sent in to me over the dream line. The dream line is a number you can text or call and leave a voicemail message on, and I might read your dream off in the next episode. You can be as anonymous as you'd like. If you'd like to share your name, go ahead and add that in. It's something that you can call and I won't pick up, I promise. It goes straight to voicemail. If that sounds like something you'd like to do, the number is 503-609-0009. Lana titles this one as Mini Mushroom Dream. I arrive at a barn party and I see a friend from junior high school. She asks me to help her bring in some mushrooms and hands me several plastic forks. I'm confused until I look closely at the fork prongs and see she has stuck mini mushrooms on each prong like a barbecue skewer. Hell yeah, that's my kind of party. Thanks for sharing that, Lana. All right, folks, without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce today's guest. In this interview, she kind of describes how she uses her tattoos and also her piercings in her dreams as reality checks. She is the creator and manager of luciddreamscape.com. She also has a YouTube channel under the same name, and she is working on a full sleeve of dream-inspired tattoos right now. I'll be putting pictures up on the website so you can see some of those, but I'm excited to see how that progresses throughout the years. Please welcome aboard Rachel Olson. That was pretty good timing with the video you just released.
Right? That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking like, what could I contribute to like the lucid dreaming community that is not already out there that I've experienced? And I was like, boom, tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, there wasn't much on online when on YouTube when I looked it up.
And I saw one video and the guy said, don't do it, doesn't last long. And I kind of get what he means, but I've just done it in different ways. Like it's always like a trigger. So I'm not doing like the same one every single time.
Huh.
So that's why like the stories come in. Like I have a few about my piercings and then a few of tattoos, and like I will look at myself like in a reflection of like water or like a car going by, and I'll notice I don't have like my chest tattoo or something. And that's like what triggers it. So it's more about like keeping my awareness going. So
yeah, totally.
I'm not sure. I feel like all my stories kind of have the same takeaway from it, but they're all different ways of triggering lucidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick. How long have you been in like the community? Because I'm like super new, so I'm like still learning. Like
I'm pretty new as well. Reese reached out to me because of my Twitter. I have a Lucid Dreamscape Twitter that I've had for like 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
So going on 3 years, and I started my Twitter to log my dreams.
Okay.
I would tell my sister my dreams, and she said they're pretty good. Why don't you tweet them? People would probably want to hear it, and that's how Lucid Dreamscape started.
Sick.
From my own passion of lucid dreaming. So
that's cool as hell.
I didn't know it was like so many people out there also were tweeting their dreams. Like I had no idea. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And then I go online, I'm like, wow, there's a bunch of other people like-minded out here.
Yeah, there are, but it's weird because like I'm really new to Twitter, and so like I don't really notice that on any other platforms. It seems to be like a very niche group of people that do it, but there are quite a few people that do it, but it doesn't seem like people are doing that on Instagram or other platforms, which is interesting.
Right, and that's why I wonder if it's going to grow on that end too, to kind of see how it all prevails, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Well, will you let anybody know that's listening your name, age, and location?
Yeah. My name is Rachel Olson. I am 26 years old. I live in Sacramento, California. And I've been lucid dreaming for like since high school. Since I was a little kid, I would always have vivid dreams. But in high school, I would always have the same reoccurring dream of me getting ready in the morning. And then I would wake up and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not ready. And this happened like 90% of the time. I would always be like, because I would wake up to my first alarm and fall back to sleep, dream that I'm getting ready, and wake up and I'm like, are you kidding me again?
Damn.
So that kind of made me more, I don't know, just interested in dreaming. I was like, why am I keep dreaming the same thing over and over again? And my mom dreams a lot and had a few precognitive dreams when she was a child. So when I had a few precognitive dreams, it just all full circled, I guess. So
super interesting. I wonder, I've always wondered if it's been genetic, but it seems to run in families for certain people, different people. It seems to run different generations.
So my mom had my mom's house set on fire, and she had a dream the night before and told her mom, and it was like a small fire in like one room, but it was just the timing and everything.
Wow.
So when I told my mom things, what I was dreaming, she's like, oh, cool. Like, no, I already know. And I'm like, how come everyone else doesn't know? And I guess that's where I just created luciddreamscape.com. And that going to be my central hub for like all my social media platforms and like my dream log.
Nice.
And I just want it to be a place where people can become introduced to lucid dreaming if they don't know about it. So I'm just an advocate, and I like doing it so much that I'll talk about it all day.
Sweet. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. And I work full time at a home improvement company as a creative manager, and I just off hours, I like energy work and meditation, and I feel that lucid dreaming kind of goes hand in hand with that as well. Manifestation and what you think is what you bring about.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel when I'm lucid dreaming too. So it kind of is pretty interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of your hobbies and passions?
Hobbies, I go to a lot of concerts. I love all different types of music. Metal, rock shows are definitely my favorite to go to.
Nice.
I'm going on a hike tomorrow with my friends, so I like to be outdoors. I like to be by the water. I'm a Pisces, so being a water sign is like natural, but for me, I grew up in Michigan by the Great Lakes, so coming to California, I like being by the ocean. We have plenty of lakes and rivers around here to go adventure at, and pretty much working out like 5 to 6 times a week, and just working and Netflix. I love YouTube channels and watching YouTube videos, especially YouTube videos about like science, astronomy, physics, and just anything that I can really geek out on.
Yeah.
And like the independent animated videos are pretty cool too, to see what other people are thinking out there. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just work, sleep, eat, repeat, and fill in my time with a lucid dreaming and hanging out with friends.
Cool. Hell yeah. And then how would you describe yourself?
I like to spend a lot of time alone, so I guess that's extrovert, introvert qualities at the same time. I think I have a good like sense of humor. Very open-minded, so when it comes to like lucid dreaming, I love listening to everyone else's experiences too, because I don't judge anyone for what they think. Just pretty much down to earth and laid back. I don't know. It's so hard to describe yourself sometimes.
Yeah, it is super hard, and it changes too. I mean,
right.
You're a completely different person this year than last year.
Yeah, that's my favorite quote from Alice in Wonderland too. Is I was myself when I woke up this morning, but I've changed several times since. Or it's like I can't explain myself because I'm not myself. You see, I was myself when I woke up this morning, but I've changed several times since then.
Yeah,
so
that's dope. I like that.
Yeah, but I like reading. Just I would say normal stuff in my book.
What do you are you like a nonfiction, fiction reader? What do you prefer, or are you pretty much like an open book?
Yeah, open book. When I was younger, it'd definitely be nonfiction. I would like Harry Potter, and then I went through the Twilight phase too. And Ellen Hopkins is one of my favorites. Now it's a lot self-help books like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
And like chakra books and energy healing, or like Sigmund Freud. Yeah.
Sick. I read a little bit of like Freud in like when I was younger, but I like couldn't grasp it, and I still like really have a hard time grasping his books. But like I have only one book, one Carl Jung book, but I seem to be able to grasp his like writing style much better. I'm not a very good reader though, so
yeah, I like audiobooks too, and podcasts are really cool as well.
I'm have a hard time like retaining stuff. I'm much more of like a visual learner, like solely visual. So
yeah, I'm a hands-on learner too, so when it came to like schoolwork, I made it through high school, but when it's hands-on, I'm actually doing it. I'm definitely creative. I like to create things, so sometimes reading can be too much, but if I'm like outside and outdoors, I love to pick up a book as well, just like in a confined space. I don't know, it kind of varies, depends on the season too.
Cool. I'm gonna move on to these sleep questions now. What helps you relax or unwind at the end of the day?
Usually when I go home, I'll like turn on some Netflix, I'll watch a show, and if I'm having trouble sleeping, like if I had a busy day and my mind's racing, I'll actually do visual exercises in my head of like things like slowing down, or like if I was running, I would visualize myself actually walking, just to try to not feel like I'm running in my head, to just try to find some quiet spot.
Yeah.
Breathing techniques, just doing like a 5-minute meditation. And the theta waves, I have an app on my phone that I'll listen to, or on Spotify there's some like lucid dreaming music and different beats that I'll put on. Or having a nice hot cup of tea. I'm obsessed with tea. So
Really?
yeah. And
Nice.
I have an oil diffuser too. So
Cool.
usually having tea and putting like rosemary in, I hear that helps with memory. So I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
But rosemary above my bed, and my dreams have become more clear, but maybe it's a placebo effect, but either way, it's working.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is it? The oil diffusers, that's nice to have that whole ambiance going on when I fall asleep. So just putting myself in the mode that I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
That's usually it. And then I smoke weed too, so that's always a nighttime ritual. But I'm actually going to switch to CBD and see how that works for nighttime, just because I'm wondering if it does affect with the clarity of my dreams. So
yeah, I've heard of that. I don't know. I don't smoke, so I don't know how. I haven't been able to test it myself, but I've heard it can kind of hinder dream recall, at least. You're probably still dreaming, but
I have some friends who smoke more than I do in like a week, and they have vivid dreams, and other ones that have no dreams. So I really think just kind of based on the person, but I think there are some like scientific reasons why it puts you in a deeper sleep.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be, I guess. So yeah,
for sure.
That's usually it. Just hot cup of tea usually does it.
Nice.
Yeah. And music. I love music. So any type of music, classical, I'll put some on and just let it drift me to sleep.
Sweet. What's the app that you use on your phone? Do you know the name of it?
Yeah, I think it's actually just called Theta Waves.
Oh.
Theta, right? Theta Waves.
Huh.
So it's this one right here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I love binaural beats. Like I'll just like lay on my bed and put an eye mask on and try and tune everything out, and then just like lay there with the beat, and like I don't know, I have a really hard time like settling down, but like for sleep, like it just puts me in a good mood.
Nice. How do you like the sleep mask? Because I've been thinking about getting one.
I don't have mine with me right now. Actually, my dog, I can't prove that my dog chewed it, but it's like ripped, so I gotta get a new one. But yeah, it's ripped, but I'll send you a link to the one I have. It's super sick. It's like padded all the way around, like your eye and like your nose too, and it's just like it's awesome. It's only like $20 too. So
nice.
Yeah,
I have the blue light glasses, and I bought them about a month ago, and I'll put them on sometimes, like if I'm watching a movie at night. I'll put the glasses on just to see if it helps my natural melatonin build.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I've just gotten into, but I haven't done it enough to really know if it's making a difference.
Yeah. Do you spend a lot of time in front of a computer screen for work?
Yes. So that's why I got them. Was mainly for work and my eye strain.
Yeah.
But I think if you're just putting intention towards something, you're going to get a result. So no matter what you're doing in a nighttime ritual, if your intent is to have a good night's sleep, then your mind is going to make it happen. So I believe that if you believe it, you can achieve it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Are your glasses are they I've seen different ones. Are they yellow lenses or are they actually blue?
They have that yellow tint to them.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can see them at all, but it has
okay.
Little
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't spend enough time in front of a computer. Well, I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt, but I don't like work in front of a computer. So
yeah, I have two. I have two screens, one for each eyeball. So,
damn. That's
I do
funny.
a lot of graphic design and website online media, so
sick.
It is nice, but sometimes I don't remember if I blinked at all, and if like something.
Damn. Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool though. Like putting together your own website, at least it's not like a totally new thing to you.
Yeah. I've never really been one to use WordPress. I have a little bit. So it's still, I still feel like I'm in the beginner stages, but
Mm-hmm.
there's just plenty of room to grow, I guess. If
Yeah,
you're not growing, you're dying. So I'm just
for
gonna
sure.
keep growing.
For
But
sure.
yeah, I don't want to.
Do you have any sleep aids or rituals or anything else you can add to kind of your sleep time?
When I have when I have trouble sleeping, my go-to is always the Theta Waves app. It has a 15-minute timer, and maybe 1 out of 10 times I've had to reset the timer.
Hmm.
So I know that within 15 minutes I'm falling asleep with the app.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that's my go-to if I'm having trouble sleeping. But
Yeah.
as just winding down for the day, I usually have a hot cup of tea and turn on the oil diffuser,
Yeah.
and depending on how late it is, turn on a show or not.
What kind of tea?
All different kinds. I like the passion tea. In the mornings, I have like green tea, but at night sometimes, yeah, chai. I am such an avid tea drinker. I have so many teas.
Have you tried any of the like lucid dreaming teas? Or I know like some people like have different mixtures of different herbs and
I have not. I have not. No, I haven't actually.
I've seen a few of them out there. I don't know how legit they are, but it's like the things they're putting in there are are like onerogens. They're things that I've seen on other websites that are supposed to help with sleeping.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't. I just Googled it though, so I'm gonna have to look at that later.
Right.
But I do get some tea from a local. I forgot what it's. Anyways, it's up there, but
Hmm.
she makes it herself, and it's loose leaf tea. So I've been finding myself going towards the loose leaf more, where before I'd always throw packets in, which I still have a bunch of packets. But
Yeah.
as far as the loose leaf tea, it's been kind of my favorite lately.
Yeah, it's
Just
super cool. You can just
making it, yeah.
you can throw in whatever you want and kind of because like you said, like certain things affect people differently. So like really getting your like mixture of tea and herbs in there, yeah, is probably key.
Oh, and I have incense too. So I usually do like lavender incense as well, because I know that
Sick.
helps relaxing. And I would love to take a bath all the time, but I don't have a bath right now. So
Do you share your bed or do you have it all to yourself?
I have it all to myself.
Sick.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Sometimes I'll have the dogs in with me, but they
Hmm.
usually sleep with my sister in the house because
Hmm.
I'm separate, like in the bungalow.
Hmm.
So
Nice.
she's out of town, so I had the dog sleep with me last night, and they take up the whole bed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our dogs are
But
terrible too.
yeah, average night I sleep by myself, so that's nice.
Cool. Um, do you keep a dream journal?
I do. I have one next to my bed, and I'll try to wake up and write down like the key moments in the dream.
Hmm.
But I usually try to put it on my notes, and then I'll put it on my Twitter.
Okay.
But it's kind of all over the place. And sometimes if I tell myself I'll put it on my Twitter, I end up getting started with my day. So the dream journal next to my bed definitely helps for just initially writing down notes from the dream, and it
Hmm.
helps me remember more. So as
Yeah.
I'm writing down the dream, I'm like, oh yeah, this happened too, or this happened. So I definitely try to tell myself to do it first thing in the morning. Once you wake up, write that dream down. Just roll over. That way I don't have to get out of bed, because the more I move, the more I'll go away from the dream. So if
Yeah.
I'm laying down in bed and pick up my journal and write it down, I'm going to have more dream recall than if I woke up, went to the bathroom, came back even, and started writing. So I try to do it first thing.
It's crazy how fast like things just like they're gone so
Yeah,
quick. It's insane.
it really is. It's like that thought, everything was right there, and then it's like, oh,
Hmm.
well, it was a good dream. That's all I know.
Yeah, I haven't been recording stuff for very long, and like I don't get to it all the time, but yeah, it's like I've just been noticing how quickly it goes. It's just gone forever, if you
Right,
take a minute to do something else, it's gone.
exactly. And I noticed too, I can remember what we're doing in the dream. I'll remember the setting and people talking, but I won't remember the conversation. So
Yeah.
the more that I write it down first thing, I'll remember more what was said.
Yeah.
But if I try to remember my dream later on in the day, I don't remember any conversation. It's just what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to remember like the emotions from like the interactions versus like the words. The emotions seem to stick with me, but I know that some people do like actually remember words.
Yeah, emotion. That's crazy. So last night I became lucid in my dream,
Nice.
and I've been having this reoccurring dream of packing like clothes and just packing things because I've been cleaning out my closet, and I want to be like more minimal.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've been clearing everything out, but I found out about a month ago that my dad's moving out of our house in Michigan, so he's got rid of a bunch of stuff. And I'm all right with it, but it kind of made sense because a lot of the dreams were in that house.
Uh-huh.
All the dreams were me packing in the house.
Interesting.
And last night I became lucid because I only saw like 3-4 clothes in there, and I was like, it's all gone. It's all gone. And I was like, wait, you're dreaming. And I was like, but it's all probably gone anyways. And I actually cried being lucid in my dream, which I've never cried in my dream before, knowing I was in a dream. But
Whoa.
I woke up and I felt very okay with it because I already came to the conclusion in my mind a week ago,
Hmm.
that all right, dad took what he got and whatever, like he saved the mementos, but there's probably a lot of stuff I'm not going to have anymore, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fine because I ended up crying in my dream last night, but I woke up and I was like, felt really fine. So that was definitely a bizarre experience because normally I'm never sad.
Interesting.
So that was
Huh.
like, at least in my dreams.
Are you moving right now, or is that just something that is going on in Michigan?
In Michigan. Yeah.
Okay. I got
So
you.
it's just like high school stuff, and it's really things like I don't need.
Right, for sure.
But the fact of not knowing what he took, I guess, is probably worked on my psyche. So in my dream last night, I felt like I hashed through it.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what really interests me about dreaming is how it correlates with my life so much, and how the more I've grown up, I realized, well, this dream is trying to tell me something. And the more I would listen to my dreams, the more I could get out like results in my waking life.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
or I might have been thinking about something for too long. I don't know. It just definitely helps with my clarity,
Yeah.
my dreams.
For
Yeah.
sure. Super interesting. I recently started paying more attention to my dreams. So, like I dreamed quite a bit, I feel like when I was younger, but I never like paid attention to it at all. I was just like, huh, that was weird. But I'm starting to pay a little bit more attention to it because, yeah, like you said, I think it plays a lot into what's going on in our waking life.
I kind of use it almost as like my counselor. So if I feel like, man, I need to work through something, it'll be worked through in my dream. And last year I was going through a bunch of changes. I went through a breakup,
Hmm.
and I just was really down in the dumps for about like 3 months. And my dreams were all over the place. But looking back, I realized, wow, my dreams were making me stronger to get through my slump.
Yeah.
So because of that, I had a different perspective on it. And before I would have precognitive dreams and something like, whoa, deja vu, like I dreamt that before. And now it's like, I see it as my dreams helped me get out of my depression last year.
Sick.
So that's definitely eye-opening on my end, at least. Before I thought I would just kind of went along with it, and like the day that I had like deposits into my dream, and that's it. And now I'm like, there's so much more. And I feel like I'm just scratching the surface to it.
Right.
So I just want to continue to seek what else there is that I can do in my dream world.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you a night owl or an early riser?
Night owl, definitely.
Got it.
There was a time I woke up to work out 5 a.m. every day for a few months, but that chapter's closed. And I noticed that I just keep going back to my night owl ways. I have to, live in the corporate world Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to get to work, 8 a.m. But I'll still find myself up usually till midnight. So that's when my mind's definitely more creative to like all my ideas. Like, what am I going to do tonight?
Yeah, that's super interesting. That kind of leads me into, it's not really a question that I have written down. I should, but so what hours of the night would you say you seem to be more creative?
When the sun goes down.
Okay.
Yeah, I notice then I kind of tune in, where when the sun's out, I'm looking outward and I want to be outside
Hmm.
and I want to go for a walk. And when the sun goes down, I'm like, okay, what can I do? Like read a book, go online, or like go on YouTube.
Yeah.
But
Y-
definitely would do like all my schoolwork at night, and I would be able to get a lot more work done. I felt like my creative juices were flowing more in the
Yeah,
nighttime. So
totally. Do you have a room or like an area that you resort to, or like a space, or is it pretty
no,
much just like your bedroom?
I live in a studio, so it is
Gotcha.
one big room. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So you're in the bedroom, and then you take 4 steps and you're in the kitchen. You take 5 steps, you're in the living room. So, but I
You're
definitely have created my space. I have my crystals all over,
mhm.
and I just try to keep it like perfect for me at any time. So
Do you feel like different places resonate with you more, like the desert or the forest or the ocean? Is one of those like call out to you?
definitely, I love being by the water, but if I could be in a forest by the water, that would be ideal. Growing up in Michigan, I would always call it like forest therapy, and just going out into the woods. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna go out there and just sit and think, and
Yeah,
I just come back out feeling 10 times better. And I just love being around plants too. And the wind with the trees is just so relaxing, and just
yeah,
sitting up and looking at them, and just so peaceful. So definitely being in a bunch, like surrounded by trees in a
yeah.
forest for sure.
Okay, I like it. It seems like everybody has kind of their own little resonating area, I guess you could call
Yeah.
it.
Like we do have a creek running in the backyard. So if I want to get out of my studio, I'll just go down there,
So
and I
that's
love listening to the running water too.
yeah,
So that definitely, just anything that I'm thinking of, I always tell myself just wash it away with the water, let it flow.
that's cool as
So
hell.
yeah.
That's awesome. Do you track your sleep at all?
I used to, but not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Usually I try to have like a rule of thumb. If I have something to do in the morning, I try to fall asleep by midnight. And I'm like, all right, Cinderella, you gotta go by midnight. So usually if I fall asleep by midnight, I'll be fine. If I have to wake up for work in the morning, usually I get about 6 to 8 hours of sleep. But now I really like getting a solid 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
So usually around like 11 to 7 is usually my go-to hours.
gotcha. But
Yeah.
between 6 and 8 is pretty consistent.
Yeah, definitely 6. Growing up, I would not need much sleep at all. I mean, growing up, I'm only 26, but I feel so old. Like, I guess like when I was in high school, I could live off of 3 hours of sleep, and it just
Yeah,
goes in threes. So if I can't get 3 hours or if I can't get 6 hours of sleep, I want to get 3 hours of sleep, because I noticed that my sleep cycles kind of go in threes.
interesting. Yeah, I like definitely done like the 4 hours of sleep and get up and go do a super long day. Like I can't even imagine doing that anymore.
Right? I used to be able to do all-nighters, no problem, go to
Yeah,
work the next day. Not anymore.
right.
Not so.
Like it's like 22 or 23, and then it just like stops.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So
pretty much.
annoying. Is your sleep consistent or broken up? Do you like wake up in the middle of the night a bunch, or are you pretty much out like once you're out?
Usually I'm out. Once I'm out, and if I fell asleep early the night, if I fall asleep early, sometimes I'll wake up early and I'll be like, this is too early. I have to go back to sleep.
Yeah,
Like last night, I fell asleep at 9:30. And I woke up at 5 and I was like, it's still dark out. And
yeah.
I fell asleep until 7. But
Hmm.
yeah, I usually sleep solid throughout the night. It's really random and usually dream related if I wake up in the middle of the night,
Hmm.
depending on what kind of dream I'm having.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. But usually I'm pretty sound sleeper, and I'll usually wake up in the same position I'm in.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
That was going to be my next question. What's your favorite sleeping position?
on my back.
Okay.
It was always my side, but I don't know. Sometimes I'll sleep on my side, but I love sleeping on my back because I don't wake up in the morning with any kinks like in my shoulder or my arm.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes if I sleep on the side, I might sleep in an awkward position.
Mhm.
So if I sleep on my back, always pretty good.
Yeah.
And I don't move as much when I'm on my back. If I'm sleeping, yeah, that's crazy now I think about it. When I sleep on my side, I move around a lot and I'm shuffling. I'm kind of like all like this.
Yeah.
And if I'm sleeping on my back, I'm pretty solid. So yeah.
Are you like hands on the chest, hands by your side, under the pillow?
My friends used to laugh at me because I'd always be like a mummy sleeping. But now I usually keep my hands by my side.
Yeah.
So I just try to keep them, pretty much I try to keep good posture when I'm sleeping now. So especially working at a computer desk,
Yeah. Totally.
I would be a side sleeper my whole life. But now that I'm got to keep my shoulders back and keep my posture up,
Yeah.
I definitely like to sleep on the back. And
Yeah. Just works.
the back is good.
Back is good.
The back is good. But never really put that together that when I'm on the side, when I sleep on my side, I move a lot. Yeah. I go from side to side. I'll go from right side and then I'll like shuffle to the left side. So when I'm on my back though, I guess I'm comfortable.
Don't need to move around a lot more.
Yeah. I used to have a bearded dragon and I would sleep with him sometimes. But I'd only like do it if he was sleeping on my chest. And I would wake up and I'm like, oh God, he's right there.
Huh. I wonder if that has anything to do with you still sleeping on your back or with your arms.
Right, it probably did with my arms because I couldn't do that before with him.
Yeah.
So now it's just a thing. So yeah,
We'll run with it.
Yeah, go with it.
What you kind of already hit on this, but what interests you in dreams? If you were to sum it up in just like a couple sentences.
Like my own fantasy world.
Yeah.
And
okay.
When I'm lucid, I can fly around and really take in my surroundings. And even if I'm not lucid, I'm usually doing an adventure. I play a lot of video games too, so
okay.
I've been playing Tomb Raider lately, and
Sick.
she throws Molotovs, and I threw one in my dream the other night too.
Yes.
And sometimes it's like hella chaotic in my dreams, but it's still like my dreams. Like I wake up and I'm like, that was weird, but okay. Like that's a nice little memory. But it's a lot of action packed, and like I like fight a whole bunch of ninjas, and like I don't know.
Damn.
Or I'll be on vacation. I've had a dream where it lasted for like, it felt like a week, and I kept telling my friend, I gotta go home. Like I need to go home. And I would have all these other parts in the dream, and I would be like, I can't stay here any longer. So just waking up from that, I'm like, I gotta go to work, but I feel like I just had a vacation in the Bahamas. Like,
damn. Like I can't be here all day long, guys.
Right, exactly.
Gotta go back and do real things.
Right. I guess that's what I was saying. And I guess the only bummer is like I wish I could dream share with people so I could talk about it in the morning, be like, that was so much fun. But still, dream talking with people is still a lot of fun. And I just wish I could project my dreams on a TV screen.
Yeah,
that
seriously.
would probably be like the cherry on top to dreaming.
Right?
Or just project it.
Just hop into someone's dream for a little bit and just like, you fucking rad.
I have so many cool. I feel like I have so many cool movie ideas in my head. If I could only figure out how to express them, I'm like, I just had this really cool dream about like zombies. You guys want to make a movie out of it? So,
that's
I
rad.
really like that whole creative aspect too, and like knowing that it's spawning from you, like you're conscious. Like, well, sometimes I'm like, why did I dream that? And I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Sometimes I don't know what it represents, and other times I can take a whack at it and be like, okay, that person probably meant this in my real life. And I try not to overthink it too much, but I'll just take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Wait, Tomb Raider, like the original like PlayStation Tomb Raider, or do they have a newer one out?
They have a newer one
Okay.
that came out, I think, like last year. It's not the old
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Last time I played Raider was like on the like original PlayStation. It was still a cool game. It was an awesome
Right.
game. It's
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sure
I
it's
love it. Yeah.
sick.
But because you played Tomb Raider too, you know how she always like cliff hangs and goes up the walls. That's always like in my dreams.
Sick.
So I'm Tomb Raider in my dreams.
Yeah, there's got to be some. I mean, I've read of in a few different places where like gamers will have like pretty powerful dreams, and it's got to be, something that you're seeing, for hours on end during a day.
Yeah.
It's got to play a part in your dreams somehow.
And I really like how Ian Wilson's doing the dreaming
Yeah, so
because it
sick.
really highlights that. It
Yeah.
just highlights the whole fantasy part. And I think because gamers are already in the game, they're more open to lucid dreaming, I guess. Or,
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he comes up with. He's putting in a lot of work on it, but
right.
I'm sure it's going to be something awesome. It'll be interesting to see what he has.
That'd be pretty cool.
Could you tell us a little bit about your website and some of the things you're doing with Lucid Dreamscape, what it is now, and kind of where you see it going in the future?
So Lucid Dreamscape is a hub for lucid dreaming content. So anything that I've experienced, I want to share on the website, and I share it on like Twitter and Instagram. So just pretty much a research center for lucid dreaming and another platform for someone to stumble upon lucid dreaming. So if someone's searching dreaming, I'm hoping that Lucid Dreamscape comes up and that they can see other links and resources that helped with my lucid dreaming experience. So right now I want to build it as just like being a lucid dreaming advocate, kind of sharing like, hey, this stuff works for me. I hope it works for you. Why don't you try it? And a lot of my friends are super open to it. My friend Sarah does a dream journal now since I've talked to her for a month, and her dreams are getting longer and longer by the pages. My sister says she doesn't dream, and I had her do some mantras, and she had a dream that night. So I don't know if I would eventually go into teaching. I feel that I always want to be a helpful guide to people.
Yeah.
So I think just putting content out and sharing other people's content that I can relate to will just kind of keep growing.
Yeah.
It's like awareness. Like I want dreaming to be like a normal conversation. I don't want people to be like, oh, that's weird. I mean, I guess like some things are always weird, but yeah, I want it to be more well known. I think that kids should be taught how to dream in school, or like I think there should be a dreaming class in school.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah.
Totally. Where can they find you at? Where are you more present? Sorry.
LucidDreamscape.com will have all the links of the platforms that I'm on. So I'm most active on Twitter, and I'll post on Instagram, Lucid Dream Yoga. But I want, luciddreamscape.com is the central place to find all the platforms and my go-to place for someone to really, I don't know,
find all your content in one area.
So if they want to find all my content, go to luciddreamscape.com and they can go from there.
Cool. Yeah. And then we're going to keep on moving along here. Can you just preface your the stories you're going to tell, maybe give us a little context or background stories on them, and let us know kind of how those dreams have affected your waking life?
So I have a lot of reoccurring dreams, and throughout the months, I'll keep going back to the same dream setting. On an average week, I'll lucid dream at least once, sometimes up to 3 times a week. So I have a few reoccurring dreams that are always in the same location. So I try to think of titles and topics for my dream. It's usually just hanging out, kind of normal, everyday things that I would do normally, and something strange happens and I notice it, or I'm doing something completely bizarre. And my dreams are really all over the place. I have reoccurring dreams that sometimes last up to a year of me having, like a month later, I'll go back to the same dream I was in like a month ago. So I guess my dreams are all across the board. I have action dreams. Like if I related my dreams to movie categories, I have more action ones, some horror that some people would call nightmares.
Yeah.
I have a lot of drama and some romance. This is really all the different categories. I'm all in it. Like I even have had a dream where it was an inanimate object and it was just really weird. I was just sitting in the room listening to people and I just was there. It was just I had dreams that I'm a dog and someone's walking me, or I'm in the living room and they're like I'm just like the dog in the living room. So I guess I don't know how I even put my dreams into like a context, because they're just all over the place. They blow my mind all the time. Like, how the hell did I even come up with that? I'm like, what the heck?
But you've like, you didn't try to like do all the work that is involved in becoming lucid. Like you naturally became lucid, like, or have experienced dreams lucidly naturally.
Yes. When I started flying around in my dreams, it was actually after my friend passed away. I noticed when she was in my dreams that I was able to kind of click, and I'm like, wait a second, what are you doing here? And like we would end up hanging out in our dream, or it just helped trigger my lucidity. I guess, I've evolved as a lucid dreamer just naturally, and my own curiosity, I think, heightened my awareness throughout my waking life. So when I was in my dream state, my own curiosity kind of was like, wait a second, like, where are you right now? And then I would realize that I'm dreaming. And because of that, I started going online and Googling dreams, or I didn't even know what precognitive dreams were. I was like, dreams, you're predicting the future. And then I found out there's words for what I'm looking up. And as I've evolved and kind of listened to other YouTube videos, I started using other people's techniques, and that's where I started using my own tattoos as reality checks. I have 4 finger tattoos. So throughout the day, I'll just kind of look down at my hands and just knowing, like, you're awake right now, you're in your office, like, you're working, just kind of taking in my surroundings. So then when I'm in my dream world, I'll do the same thing, and it'll start triggering that, whoa, you're dreaming right now. So just kind of taking in my surroundings daily is overpoured into my dream world. And the more that I learn from everyone else who also lucid dreams, I'm just I'm very open-minded. So when someone else tells me that they do this to lucid dream, I'm going to try it. So then I'll try what they're doing, and then I might make up my own. And usually just the fact of just the intent of me doing it is going to make it work in my dreams. So
I'm just good at caring.
Who do you watch? Like, who has resonated, I guess, with you? Because everybody resonates, different people.
Jennifer.
Really?
Yeah, I really like Jennifer's videos.
No, totally. That makes sense. She has some awesome videos.
Yeah, and her dreams too, and the way that she explains it, I like listening to her and what she's going through. So I've definitely resonated with some of her videos. And Tree Car as well. I like her a lot. And pretty much anyone who I come across, anyone who's talking about dreaming just gets me all geeked out, and I love it. And that's pretty much it. And like I'll watch all the ones in our group too, like the Swarm, like as it comes up. But
for sure,
as like a regular, it's still so new for me that I'm just kind of all across the board too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like a few years ago, I would start watching like the spirit science videos, and it's just talking about sacred geometry and things like that. So I feel like I've become open-minded to more of the metaphysical plane. So now that I'm diving deeper into the lucid dreaming realm, that there's a lot to it, and I feel that you can kind of make up your own techniques, and that's what I've been doing. And
That's
it works.
tight.
So
Yeah, you got to kind of figure out what works for you.
Yeah. And some people will say you can't use tattoos as reality checks because then your mind knows that you're going to reality check with your tattoos. So then your tattoos will just show up in your dreams, which that hasn't been the case for me. Sometimes I'll have, like, I have my sleeve going on here, and I'll have maybe one tattoo on it when I have supposed to be 5. So I do catch on. All right, my dreams are catching on to some of my tattoos, but usually I'm a clean slate, and that'll trigger it. So, yeah,
that's super interesting. Is there one particular tattoo that that you see in your dream, or is it you just kind of notice them?
It hasn't been one tattoo. It's been all of them. The finger tattoos have, I guess they're 1 and 4 and 1. So my hands definitely have induced lucid dreaming, because I'll look down and I'm like, wait a second, where are my tattoos? So definitely the hands get me a lot. But as far as okay, so let me go into my first story here, I guess.
Yeah, please.
Here we go. So I'm with my friend, and we're working out on the treadmill, and I look into, it's a full body mirror, and I realized that I'm dreaming, and I was like, hey, Ness, like, we're dreaming right now. She just said, okay. And I was like, all right, cool. And she, like, it didn't faze her. And we're on the treadmill, and I look over in the mirror, and I'm in shorts and a tank top, and I have 0 tattoos. And I was like, this is crazy. I was like, I haven't seen myself without tattoos in years. But just seeing myself in reflections have definitely triggered it. I have a chest tattoo. I had another dream that I was on top of a car, like there's a truck, and I'm just hanging on the bed, and it doesn't make any sense, but it's normal for me to be traveling on the hood of this car. And I look over, and I notice, like, I don't have any tattoos, and it just hits me that I'm dreaming, and there's a car next to me, and I look over, and I see there's like a mom and a child in the front seats, and they both have no eyeballs, and like they're sewn shut, and they're driving, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm still just hanging on the top of this truck bed as it goes down like, I don't even know who's driving the truck. I'm just on top of it, and we're going down the highway on the coast next to, like, the ocean, and they just go by with no eyeballs, and and it's like this minivan. So when they're passing, I look at the my reflection in, okay, that's crazy. So I look at my reflection in the car window, and I know that I have a straight face that I'm looking at myself, and my reflection smiles and tilts her head. So it's me, but it's not me, and it was just so bizarre. And then that car drove off, and I'm just like, oh, okay, and that's it. But I woke up, and I'm like friggin' scarred. I'm like, I can't believe they don't have eyeballs. And it really, like, stayed with me for a few days, like how I looked at myself and something else smiled at me, and I was like, it was kind of like a devious, like, try to look at yourself, like, it's really trippy.
That's super trippy.
So I have a lot of trippy dreams. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy. They're like Coraline or something like that. Have you ever seen that movie? They sew the eyeball shut. I don't know.
Were you ever like scared in that dream, or were you just what kind of emotion went on?
Okay. Have you ever did you ever watch Walking Dead?
I've watched some of it, but not very much. No.
But when it first, like, the first few seasons, I was all over it. I love it. And I had to have zombie apocalypse dreams almost every single night. And in the beginning, I would run away, and I was like, get out of here, zombies are coming, I gotta run. And then it started being like, okay, they're fine, like, we'll stay here. And I noticed that my fear level dropped. So I have not been scared in a dream in so long, and I don't know, like, a lot of scary things happen to me, but somehow I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, I'm kind of emotionless when it comes to it. Like, in the moment, it's very intense, and I feel like I'm definitely a fighter, not like a runner.
Yeah.
Like, in my dreams, if something happens, I definitely fight it off. But when I first started having these post-apocalyptic dreams, I would be a runner. So I would run from them, and now I can fight zombies, no big deal. And I'm just like, not a problem. And yeah, so when that happened, it was definitely odd and creepy, and seeing myself like smile back, seeing me but not me smile back, was definitely an eerie feeling. But it wasn't necessarily fear. It was just like, I don't even know how to explain it. I would just put eerie. It was very creepy.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I haven't had nightmares in a long time, so that's good.
It's like a weird, calm, creepy, like
Yes.
not jump out in front of you creepy. It's just like this is too calm, too chill.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's exactly like my horror. Like, I love watching horror films.
Yeah.
But when things jump out at me, I'm going to scream like, ah!
Yeah.
But it's like a fun scare. But when, like, if the plot of the movie is really sick and twisted, it won't scare me as much as something jumping out. So yeah, I guess that's kind of that calming, okay, creepy.
Yeah. Now, when you got your hand tattoos, did you have like dreams in mind, or you were just getting tattoos?
I was just getting tattoos. It's like, one of them is a Greek symbol for if there's a will, there's a way. Cool. One of them is a Viking symbol for create your own reality. And then one's a little moon.
Cool.
So I follow the moon phases. And then I have an alien, because I love aliens.
I like that. Nice.
So a lot of my tattoos deal with it's like my little mantra is like, if there's a will, there's a way, or create your own reality. And then I have the flower of life, that we're all one consciousness. And then I have my dream catcher. Have you ever seen Donnie Darko?
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I have seen it.
Got
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So,
nice.
And then this one was from one of my dreams that I had. I just posted a video about it the other day, because I was like, I need to get a video out.
Yeah.
And this one's kind of like my dream eye too. Just kind of seeing everything as it is, and it's crying because I lost my best friend to a heroin overdose.
Oh shit.
And it's
Sorry.
like, yeah, it's hard, because it's like, it's what happens, and it's like, life is so beautiful but yet sad at the same time. So it's like, I'm just try to be in the moment and present.
Yeah.
So I find with my lucid dreaming, the more awareness I put in my normal day, the better my dreams are. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And what is it? This is one story, which you can choose to put this in there or not.
All right.
So my birthday is March 3rd. It's coming up. Last year on my birthday, I decided to get my nipples pierced. So I went to the tattoo shop and I got them done. And I said, well, now that I got these done, I want to get a chest tattoo to go along with it. So it was a whole like shabam. I was super excited. And I was so excited that I had consistent dreams about it. And when I was a kid, when I was a child in elementary school, I had dreams like a few times where, I don't have pants in high school. You get embarrassed, you run away.
Right.
And after I got all of it done, I would have dreams that I was topless. And I would be like, oh my God, like I have to put a shirt on. And I would look down, I'm like, wait, no, I'm dreaming right now. And because I noticed I didn't have my piercings, or I didn't have my chest tattoo, that was kind of like a double for me at the time. But I'd actually just like walk around my dream topless, and there would be like people walking on the street, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, what's up, guys?
What's up, nerds?
No, what's up, nerds? You're still wearing shirts? That's lame.
Right, they're square.
So that would happen like a few times, and I'm just like, was so excited. I guess I wanted to show the world, and I showed my dream world. But then just last week, I haven't taken them out since I got them pierced.
Yeah. And
I think I changed them out once, but I've never kept them out. So last week I had a dream. I was like sitting on the couch, and I looked down, and I'm like, what? And I was like, look, and I was like, my nipple ring came out. And I'm like, And I'm in my dream, like, how long has this been out? And I'm like, this is so weird. And I like put it back in, it went in fine. And I was just sitting there like, and I was trying to retrace it. And I've never tried to retrace my steps in a dream. It's usually I've become lucid and figure it out.
Yeah.
I've never done that. So that was actually the first time I tried to retrace my steps, but I ended up waking up and I woke up and I'm like, they're still in, like it's fine. But I thought that was so bizarre because I've never really tried to figure out how did I get here in my dream. And I was like, how did this happen? And I'm like by myself, but I'm like, what the hell? So that was pretty interesting. So wow. I've noticed that with my piercings and the tattoos, definitely. And I used to wear a ring every day, and I don't wear it anymore, but because I got my finger tattoos. So I guess, yeah, before my finger tattoos, I would have a ring I would wear every single day. And it kind of triggered it. But I would usually look down on my hand and be like, something's missing. And I could never pinpoint what it was, but I was like, it's all right. Like, it's fine. Yeah. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I was thinking of my ring.
Interesting.
So I think I've kind of, with the ring and having piercings and tattoos, it's just all combined to help keep my awareness of who and where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super interesting. Because, like, especially when you got the tattoos, you made it like permanent, you know,
right.
That, you know, this is now a part of my body. It's interesting that you mention, of course, you know, it can help trigger lucid dreams, but sometimes they're like kind of creeping into your dream life as well.
Right. And I think, yeah, definitely. Because I know some people's, how do I word it? I hate saying other people in general like that because everyone has their own opinion.
Right. Some people.
Yeah, some people will say that doesn't work. And I just tell them, no, in my experience, it has worked. And then I'll go into a different technique. But in my mind, it's all generally the same technique. It's whatever's permanent about my body. And just knowing, I guess just knowing myself too. Just kind of helps when I'm in the dream world, kind of catch myself and say, wait a second, you're dreaming.
Right.
I'm curious, have you ever been in a dream and said like, this is a dream? And then had people like say, no, it's not.
So I haven't, like, I'm still really new, and like I haven't had a lucid dream yet. Not that I would call it a lucid dream. I had one recently, and it was after actually I talked to Lana, and she like told me some like tricks and some things to put in my dream journal. So like that was really promising, and I haven't been as good about it lately, but it was a dream where I was floating down a river in like an inner tube, and like I had this feeling where I need to like find this lady, and I'm in an inner tube, and like sure enough, like I make this lady appear, and she's in an inner tube too, and like she's the wrong person though, and it felt like a sister or like a motherly figure.
Nice.
And I was just like I'm really stoked to see you, like this is awesome, but like I'm still looking for, I need someone else, like, and I made another one appear.
Whoa.
And then that happened again. I was like, you're like, I'm really stoked to see you, but you're not the person I'm looking for.
Right.
And then another one reappeared, and it still wasn't the right one. And then I did it one more time, and it was the woman I was looking for. And then I woke up because I got too excited.
That's
so, yeah. So I'm like kind of on the cusp. I feel like I'm getting pretty close.
Definitely.
But you're talking about someone telling you in a dream that you're dreaming?
So I've had a dream where I'm shouted like, this is a dream, and the dream characters were trying to convince me that it wasn't a dream. And this actually was probably in the beginning of my, like, when I was on the cusp of becoming a lucid dreamer.
Yeah.
Whenever I would figure it out, I would be like, I'm lucid dreaming, like, this is a dream. And then the dream character's like, no, it's not a dream. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what's wrong with you, Rachel? And I remember being so confident, like, you guys are crazy. Like, this is a dream. Like, and I'll prove it to you. And like one dream, I showed my friend Ness how to fly. It was really neat because in waking life, I was telling her about my dream journey and how far I've come. And she was open to it. And then I had a dream that I was showing her how to do all these things like, look at, you can fly over here, or look at, you can go underwater. And it was the most like stuff in a dream that I've done lucid. And I think it was because I was showing her, where normally I would get too excited about stuff and wake up. But when I was showing her, I was like, wow, like we can do a lot. But I noticed when I first was getting really good at lucid dreaming, or I guess not good, just having it more frequently.
Yeah.
In the beginning, a lot of my dream characters were doubting me. And
interesting.
I was like, yes, this is a dream.
Do you have a feeling of, or like an interpretation of why you think they might have been trying to tell you otherwise?
Now that you say that, it probably was to do with confidence. And I feel that I'm very confident with who I am right now. And growing up, I would struggle with who I wanted to be, or I had to influence like my parents saying, you got to do this, you know, like this is the rules of society, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
My parents are super supportive, but I remember back then it felt like a lot of pressure. So maybe when I finally figured out how to lucid dream, parts of me were saying you're wrong, because that's just kind of how I would talk to myself. So now that I am my biggest fan, now I feel that my dreams are like growing, and like the field that like the dreaming field is now infinite, where before I limited myself because I thought I could only do this much. So now that I believe in myself, that my dreams are just like blew up. Now my dreams are all over the board.
Limitless.
Limitless. But now that you said that, I definitely feel that part of myself was trying to tear me down.
That's cool as hell, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that is awesome.
But I definitely see, like if I'm having crazy days at work, like if it's like an event going on, I'll notice my dreams kind of diminish. And just as long as my life is balanced, my dreams are pretty spot on. So if I'm not dreaming, or if I can't remember my dreams, I have to take a kind of a look and be like, what's going on? What's different? What's taking your energy?
Yeah.
So
interesting.
I also had I've been having a lot of dreams about flying. Like once I become lucid, I realize I can just fly around. Have you ever seen Black Mirror?
No.
So I'm in Las Vegas in my dream, and I'm looking for my friend, and I make my way into a nightclub, and I run into my ex-boyfriend from like 4 years before. And I was like, what is this? Am I being punked? I was like looking around. I said, am I being punked right now?
Ashton, where you at?
Yeah, I think I even said that too. Like, Ashton, where are you? But everyone, you know, like there's go-go dancers up, there's the bars completely full, there's people everywhere in this club. And I just said, where am I being punked? And I just go, aha, this is a dream. I was like, I'm dreaming right now. And every single character in my dream, they just were like dancing, and everything just stopped and stared at me.
Oh my God.
So there's a Black Mirror episode where everyone's like starts staring at them, and that's exactly how it was. And they all stopped, stared at me, blank face. It was like she got it, like she figured it out. And I just flew out of the club, and I just flew around, and Las Vegas kind of turned half Disney, and I kept seeing like Snow White and princesses and stuff around. I was like, what the heck? And I woke up. But I have a lot, my dream characters are kind of weird sometimes. They'll stare at me, or it's like they're trying to trick me. And
that's super interesting.
It's very interesting.
Dream characters, that's like one of my biggest interests. Like I want to like question them and like really kind of pick them apart. But you know, I haven't gotten lucid yet, but I want to like test them and like see how much they know. And that's like one of my biggest interests in lucid dreaming. Yeah.
I'm just having this conversation with you. I'm having all these dream flashbacks too.
Yeah.
I have I notice like when I'm with someone else, or someone else is teaching me something. I remember one one guy was like, I'm going to teach you how to fly. And we jumped off a skyscraper and then wings popped out of our back. But
Sick.
I only did it because he did it first. And then I saw his wings and I was like, all right, here I go. And it's just very interesting to see like what I pick up. And I don't remember a lot in the moment, like I don't remember a lot what was said, but at least waking up, like you mentioned, the emotion and feeling it, that's what kind of sticks with me.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Yeah. So I do notice when I become lucid and it's just me and one other person, like 2 days ago, I had a dream about my grandma and I was just staring at her and I was like, and I looked down at my hands and I noticed I didn't have any tattoos and I realized, whoa, like you're dreaming right now. And I look around and I even thought I could ask her anything right now. Oh my God, what am I going to ask her? What am I going to ask her? And I was like, she looks so nice. And I was like, I miss my grandma. And I just listened to her. So I became lucid and then went right back into the dream because I couldn't think of anything to say. And all I just like, oh my God, I have a picture of my grandma too.
What?
It's literally the cutest grandma ever.
Oh, so happy.
Yeah, and like when I woke up, I kind of like bummed myself out. I was like, Rachel, why didn't you ask her like what like makes you happy or like what is the meaning of life?
Right.
And I realized it didn't matter because I didn't have anything to say. I was just happy to see my grandma, and she's still alive. I just don't see her as much as I'd like to, and I just thought it was so bizarre how I got lucid and I just let it go away. So I've kind of been content with my dreams lately.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
you got to reach out and tell her,
right.
Grandma, you're in my dreams.
I didn't tell her yet. You know, it's so annoying. Every time I call her, she's always like on the phone, and there's a 3-hour time difference.
Oh, yeah.
I have to remember that, but I'm gonna tell her. Like, Grandma,
that's
dream about you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you had one tattoo that was dream inspired.
Yeah.
You did a vlog. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So this was also a reoccurring dream that I had probably for about 6 to 7 months. And at first I would be chasing this dark figure, and for the sake of discussion, I'm going to call this dark figure Darko because it was like a dark figure. Darko. Okay. That's his name now.
All right. That's fair.
So I'm chasing him around in like through mountains, through forests, like every terrain that you can think of. Me and this Darko figure chased each other back and forth. And it was just like kind of secret spies. Like I was very undercover trying to find him, or if he found like one dream I would be chasing him, the other dream he would be chasing me, the next it would always be going back and forth of him chasing me, I'm chasing him, and I would be living my dream life somewhere, and all of a sudden he showed up and I had to run. I was like, he came in and like I was in the witness protection program and he found me. And then I would be finding him, and I call him like Darko because it's like this shadow figure. Sometimes he kind of looked like Slender Man, was very tall. It was it was like a dark entity. It was just like lingering, like that horror movie, The Fog. It's like it's just coming.
Yeah.
And, just keep going back and forth, and at the very end, there was just this very long dream of us chasing each other, and I had a friend in the dream helping me, and me and the figure, we just kind of faced each other, and we're like, without words, we were just like, okay, we're done. And we ended up like hugging each other for a fairly long time. It was just like acceptance, like, okay, we're gonna live simultaneously with each other now. So I don't know if inner parts of me were battling and conflicting and wanted, I don't know what, because it was through a little troubling time in my life too, where I was kind of coming out of my slump. So I don't know if like past addictions were trying to pull me back, and my higher self is like, no, you have to go this way. So it felt like a battle of good versus evil. And at the end of the dream, when we embraced, it was just known we're good now. And then at the end of the dream, my friend walks in the house and was like, Rachel, watch out, he's right there. And I was like, it's okay, we're cool now. And then we all hung out. It was just like simple as that, like, we're cool now. Just,
No, that's my homie. That's all good.
yeah, and that's like, I remembered saying, oh, we're cool now. And he's like, oh, cool. And that was it. So I don't know why, but I have not had a dream about him in a long time. And so I decided to get it on my dream sleeve.
Cool.
So, and it has a little infinite band underneath it, and it kind of the dark entity is like the universe, and it kind of breaks apart. So
cool.
And you can see my blue hair in there too.
Dope. You'll have to send me a picture of that.
Oh, definitely.
I'll put it on my website or whatever. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was probably one of the longest reoccurring dreams I had.
Did you what was it like getting the tattoo where you're like, I know exactly what I'm gonna get, I know where I'm gonna put it, and did that start your sleeve, dream sleeve or idea, or is that just a continuation?
It was kind of the continuation. So that one I just got in December. I was like, what was my first tattoo I've got on this arm? I had to think about that. It was the flower of life tattoo. So it all started with the sacred geometry and like we're all one consciousness, and just knowing that it's just infinite.
Yeah.
And it keeps going on and on and on. So it started with that, and then I have my little internal compass on this side. So I start out with both of them on each side, and then I kind of just stuck with the left side, and then I got my third eye, my universe eye, and then I got the dream catcher, and it's a yin yang dream catcher. So
okay, I see that.
And then it has the sun kissing the moon, so like your light embracing your darkness and your darkness embracing your light. So
cool.
Yeah, and then I just got that one on there too. So it's just became formed on its own as my dream sleeve, like my little consciousness sleeve. So
that's super cool.
Yeah. So
I love that idea.
Yeah. Like I love like my family too, but people will give you shit about tattoos. Yeah. Those are forever. And I'm like, really? I had no idea. I did not know that. Oh my gosh. But they're always like concerned, like, well, I just hope it's stuff that you'll want forever. And I'm like, yes, it is, because it just reminds me of that there's more to life than what we see.
Yeah. I'll try and show you.
Just a constant awareness.
This is, I don't know if you can see that, but this is the only one I have on this arm. Lighting is probably pretty bad. But it's it's terrible.
I know, the light shines bright on it. I'm like,
there we go.
Okay.
It's a tire iron.
Okay, I see that now. And then the teeth?
Yeah, teeth and eyeballs. And I ended up hitting like this lady in my dream, like was representing like bad vibes, and I like ended up like killing her, and like I felt like amazing once she was gone, because I like finally destroyed that like part. And that was a recurring theme like in my dreams, like bad figures, and like I just got rid of her, and I was like, dope. I'm gonna get that tool, that I used within my dream tattooed on my arm.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I mean, I might have to start a dream sleeve too.
You should.
That's pretty cool.
It just kind of occurred. I'm like, you know what? This is all going to be dream sleeve stuff. I'm like, anything, which probably would have ended up that way, but I like to think of it more like that now. And then my chest tattoos is, you may say I'm a dreamer.
Nice.
So it all kind of spawns from there.
That's awesome. Yeah. What would you say if someone was like, I want to get something to like for a reality check, but I don't want to get a tattoo? Like, what would you tell someone?
They could get like a henna tattoo or a temporary tattoo if they wanted to try the skin. If they wanted to try a tattoo reality check, but without getting it permanent, they could try one that lasts for 2 to 3 weeks, or even writing something on your wrist every day in Sharpie and just continue it. Just something, a mark maybe, just as a reminder, so they can use that as a reality check throughout their day.
Yeah.
But they could use, I think they could use like a bracelet, a piece of jewelry, like a ring. Mm-hmm. I always look at my hands, so that's where my finger tattoos come into play. And I, used to use the ring as one. And yeah, I would just say temporary tattoos or find a ring. In Inception, they had a spinning top, and each one of them had something. So you could, but I don't know. I don't normally have pockets every day, so it depends on who you are and what your normal day is. Because if you always have pockets, why not keep you could keep like a crystal in there and be like, this is my reality check for the day, or
Totally.
something. Or you even like one of those wristbands, and it could say something like, am I dreaming?
Yeah.
Then
Well, a henna tattoo is like pretty non-committal too,
right.
and it's something you could hide pretty easily too. And also, like if it's there for 2 or 3 weeks,
It'll
like
start a good habit.
yeah, I mean, like if you're doing like a month where you have some goals, you could like get a little circle or something, very non-committal, and that's kind of your drive for the rest of the month, to like maybe focus on lucid dreaming, and kind of it's not there for you forever. And then if you end up liking it,
And you
just
can make it permanent if you
right.
want to, right?
Right.
As long as you're putting the intent into it, I believe that you're going to have results. Because if you're training your mind to look for, if you practice looking at your surroundings, you're going to be looking at your surroundings in your dream, and guarantee one of those times you're going to induce lucid dreaming, because you're like, wait a second, this isn't my norm.
Yeah.
So that just works with me, and that's kind of where my tattoos are my norm. And when I see that it's off in my dreaming state, it induces lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think also some people might be afraid, like, oh, I still want to be able to get a job or whatever, but tattoos are like really mainstream now. Like,
yeah,
I know a lot of people in professional settings, people don't care what you have. I mean, they just care if you're like a good person or, doing a good job at your work.
Right, as long as you're performing. So I work at a home improvement company.
Yeah.
And when we have executive meetings, I'll wear a long sleeve shirt, because I know some people in there, they frown upon my tattoo. So I'll try to be modest, but on a normal day I'll wear a t-shirt and no one will say anything.
Yeah.
But we had one homeowner out of thousands call and complain, because she said, I thought you were sending professional people out here. These installers have tattoos.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking like, and I remember my boss told me and was like, Rachel, like, see, like people don't like tattoos. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that one lady out of thousands. Like,
yeah.
I think it's definitely becoming more mainstream and normal now. And
yeah.
And it's just, it is what it is. People are expressing themselves. If you tell them not to, then that's my big thing too, is like being yourself. And being yourself, you're being like the truest form of you possible. So you're going to like radiate and glow, and people are going to be more attracted to you as a person, I think, with confidence and all.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to suppress who you are for someone else, even like, oh, I can't get a tattoo because of my job. But if you really want a tattoo, then you should get a tattoo and say, screw the job. But I know in this day and age, you have to like survive and pay bills. Yeah. But I think that there's, definitely ways that you can still express yourself. Or in my case, I'll wear a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
And no one will see my tattoos except for my hands. And that's
whatever.
Too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Too much. I'm just good at caring too much. Is it too much to ask that
what are some of your goals from here on out with dreams and lucid dreaming? I guess kind of what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Short-term goals are to like track my dreams more. So I have a lot of reoccurring dreams. So if I titled my dreams and dated them, then I would be able to see when these dreams keep happening and maybe pinpoint why they're happening, but at least have more reporting on my end. So I mean, like right now I'm just I feel like I'm just dreaming all the time, and I can have all these great stories, but if I have to put in a time frame, that's where I struggle. So keeping up with my dream journal and trying to find anything that relates or correlates with like a dream. Short-term goals. Yeah. So I'd say dream reporting, and long-term goals, sharing my experience with anyone I come in contact with. So I want to get stickers and put them all over the place because I travel a lot. So
Nice.
I want to like get stickers that say "Got Dreams" and just have like luciddreamscape.com. And so if someone visits the website, they can see all the other lucid dreamers in the world or different experiences. So maybe more people will be open to, like, maybe there's more than just my dreams. Maybe people will become as fascinated with it as I am. So
that's rad. I love that idea. If you give me some stickers, I'll definitely send some out and give you some of mine too.
Definitely gonna get a whole pack of stickers. I was looking at 1,000 of them just the other day, and I was thinking I'll ask everyone in the dream group who wants stickers.
I'll take them and put them up for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, so I think just spreading awareness is my short-term and long-term goal, but definitely getting to know my dreams and is definitely a short-term goal. Just reporting them would be it. Yeah, because when you asked me like the theme and the whole setting it up, I got so stumped. The whole give your listeners a taste of what they're gonna hear, and I'm like, can they taste everything? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to narrow it down.
Yeah. So I guess my short-term goal would be able to like narrow my dreams down and see when these dreams are happening and if it's seasonal or if it's, with what's going on in my waking life.
Well, I love your vlog. I think you should definitely get that cracking because that video that I saw was awesome.
Dope. Thank you.
Yeah. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. I think a lot of people will be able to relate. And I think like your tattoo thing is like a really cool angle. And I think people need to be a little bit more open to it because it's just a tattoo and you only live once. And like, to me, it makes a lot of sense for like a reality check,
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a temporary one, like a henna one. So.
And I've thought about getting henna ones too that say like, I don't know, like, or a different design, because I'm wondering like if I add something else, will that work for a little bit too? So I always have a bunch of tattoo ideas though that I have in mind, but maybe I'll try a henna one just to kind of see how the temporary one reflects in my dreams.
Dope. I'd love to hear more. If you have any updates, just let me know, and I would love to hear about it.
All right, sweet. That'll be cool.
Rad, thanks for your time. It's been awesome. A lot of time, but I really appreciate it.
This is like really excites me though, because I'm fairly new to like the whole content creators of like the dreaming specifically. Cool. So that you asking me to come on here is getting me more out there too. So normally I'm the one interviewing people with my job. So being on the other side is definitely fun.
Yeah.
I want to keep growing within the lucid dream community and kind of see where it takes me. And
hell yeah. Well, I like what you're doing, and I think other people will too once they see it. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'll definitely promote it.
Awesome. Yeah, I love your podcast, so I'll keep promoting you too. For
cool.
Sure.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Definitely.
Thanks again, Rachel. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Later.
Yeah.
All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that conversation. So the question still remains, are tattoos a viable option to use as reality checks? So I wouldn't really take my opinion. I'm literally just a dude with a camera. I aim to capture people's dreams of all kinds, not just lucid dreaming. But I did get a second opinion from someone that has been in the lucid dreaming community for a very long time, Daniel Love, or better known as The Lucid Guide. He is the author of Are You Dreaming? And I would consider him a professional. I messaged Daniel and told him what I was doing and went on to say that, tattoos seem to be kind of a short-term or maybe a backup reality check, as there's no physical component to them once they're on your skin. I asked Daniel, how many reality checks do you think people should have as beginners? And also, what is your take on tattoos and piercings as reality checks? He says, as far as tattoos as a reality check, he has hit one himself. He has dream with a question mark written on his right wrist. As well as being a test you can rely on and always being available, it also works as a continuous reminder to perform a reality check. It's always there on your wrist right in front of you. I have found it to be a very consistent reality check. The interesting thing with a tattoo is how varied it can appear in dreams. I've often found it expresses itself in dreams as a scar or a wound on first viewing, a dead giveaway that you're dreaming. While it works as a brilliant basis for the morphing text test, I more often simply rub the tattoo with my left thumb. In waking reality, it remains stable, but in dreams, it behaves as if it had been drawn on and that it'll smudge as you'd expect with regular ink. I'd say that tattoos are perfectly valid as a long-term reality check, the only limit being that tattoos will fade and blur over the years, so it's wise to consider this when choosing your design. You probably don't want something very small and intricate as with any tattoo. I'd not recommend anyone get a tattoo just for a reality check though, unless you've maintained interest in lucid dreaming for maybe over 3 years. I know this sounds like a long time, but you really want to be certain that your interest in lucid dreaming is going to be as permanent as the tattoo. I generally recommend 2 reality checks for beginners. A primary test, such as the nose pinch test. He notes, although it's probably something you want to avoid right now with the virus going around. Followed by the morphing text test. It's important to choose 2 tests that are unrelated and work on different principles. The most important factors with any reality check is that they are based upon sound logic, that they're performed with a rational mind and do not become habitual to the point of autopilot. He goes on to say that they should be performed at least 10 times during the day, and ideally whenever anything out of the ordinary or dreamlike happens. I hope this helps. Daniel, thank you for the feedback. That really helps put things into perspective for me, and I hope some other people feel the same as well. Alright folks, that's going to do it for today. If you have a dream-inspired tattoo that you'd like to share, please send it my way at allaboardthedreamtrain@gmail.com. You can find me on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as All Aboard the Dream Train, all one word. If you are listening to the podcast right now, jump on YouTube if you'd like to see full video of the episode you just heard. Once again, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope y'all have a great day.